Back to Native Planet, New York.
Okay. One thing that must be understood with these people is that they have no argument. They can produce no facts to back up what they're saying. They get emotional. That's what they do. But their argument is frivolous. They use little cop-out words. Words like Afrocentrists. Words like conspiracy theorists. Words like reverse racism. Words like black supremacists and stuff like that. These are cop-out words because they have no facts to back up the information that they put out, so they tend to throw little insults, and those type of words, those labels, are basically, see, these people, they can't even think for themselves. Their thoughts are not even their own. That's not even themselves thinking. They heard that from somewhere. They picked it up from somewhere, some book that they read or some ignorant person that they spoke to, and they just regurgitate it. You see, number one, when you talk about Egypt, for one thing, Egypt that's not even the original name. It's Kemet. Okay, it's Kemet. It's Kemet. Can you hear me? Okay. And yes, you did have white Egyptians, but they came later. This was after. This is in the later dynasties, after they mixed with the Europeans. Okay, but when you talk about the older dynasties and pre-dynastic Egypt, then you are getting into the original Egyptians before they were mixed. Okay, if you look at any of the walls of the ancient Egyptians, you will see that they were highly melanated. They were Africoid people. Number one, most people get their conception of Egypt from Hollywood. Okay, they have never studied ancient Egyptian or Kemetic history in depth. All they have done is watch movies. Okay, they've seen Elizabeth Taylor and these different European actors and actresses play the ancient Egyptians, but it's Hollywood, it's fiction. Okay, so when you talk about pre-dynastic Egypt, the pre-dynastic Egyptians were the Anu. Okay, and you can read in the book African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Sheikh Anta Diop. He debunks all of those myths. He proves that it's a reality. Okay, the African origin of civilization. Okay, if you look at there's plenty of you can look at the study the works of Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen. Okay, you can study the works of Maulana Karenga. There's plenty of authors out there. Dr. Jeffries. Plenty of authors have really what's his name? John Henry Clark is another good one. Plenty of historians who have brought forth information that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt who the Kemites were. Okay. Now, if you looked at my clips from the past 14 clips, I showed pictures. Okay, now some ignorant person or people out there are claiming that the pictures were doctored up. Well, you got to remember, again, I told you, these people, they're trash. You guys are ignorant people. You're uneducated. I have rare photographs that come from the Smithsonian, rare photographs that come from rare books, out-of-print books. Okay, these people, they are unsophisticated people. They are not refined people. I have my own personal library of over 3,000 books.
Can you name a few of the white authors you have today that they can refer to?
Yeah, I give you a long list of them.
Ready?
I'm always ready. Michael Bradley is one. He wrote the book Dawn Voyage, the Black African Discovery of America. And he also wrote The Columbus Conspiracy. Leo Weiner, he wrote a book, Africa and the Discovery of America. 3 volumes of that book. David McRitchie, he wrote Ancient and Modern Britons. That is a 2-volume work. It's an out-of-print book. Also, Leo Weiner's books are out of print. Also, only, I think the first volume is in print. The rest are out of print. And even that first volume is a reprint, okay, from A&B Books. Also, Albert Churchward is another author. He wrote Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. He also wrote The Origin and Evolution of Religion. Okay. Also, James Churchward. He wrote a lot of books on ancient Lemuria. The great Gerald Massey. Okay, he wrote Ancient Egypt, The Light of the World, and other books also was written by that particular author. Colonel Regain, he wrote Shadow of Atlantis. Okay, Michael Coe, he wrote several books on the Olmecs, several books on the Mayas, several books on ancient Mexico. Frank Joseph, he's the editor of Ancient American Magazine, okay, and he's done several articles dealing with the ancient Americas, and our story is in there as well. Also, you know, don't just argue with, you know, don't just say, you saying it's Afrocentric. So this information is also in Native American folklore. So, but going back to these authors here, so you're saying that these particular authors that I just mentioned, these Caucasian authors, these are Afrocentrics? That doesn't make sense.
Where can they find these books easily?
Well, like I said, you can't find out-of-print books easily. Rare books you can't find easily either. You have to do your research. You have to go out and do your own legwork. I can't do that for anybody. Right. Okay. I did my legwork. You do yours. Okay. Some of the books you can find easily. Not all of them.
Can you find any of this information on the internet?
You mean the authors?
The authors.
You should. You know, like I don't get all my information off of the internet. You know, I'm more of a book person. You know, I do some research on the internet. I'm not going to say that I don't use the internet. I do use the internet, but that's not my soul. I was doing this research before I even knew about the internet. Matter of fact, when I first started doing this research, there was no internet.
How did you go from A to Z?
As far as what?
Finding these authors.
Man, I will be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't believe that I believe that there's a higher force that leads me to information.
Okay.
So my luck in coming across this information, I can't say it would be the same for somebody else unless they had a sincere heart.
Right.
Okay. All of the profane out there, I can't verify that you will have the same result.
Okay. But you can can show the information if need be shown.
Of course. And I have shown the information, but again, we're dealing with people with limited brain capacity.
We'll be back in a moment.